Let's get it.
What's up, everybody? Holy moly, it's like a sun. The light do be blasting, though. Hello, good to see everybody. Give me 1 second. Actually, I'm gonna ask your indulgence for the whole stream. That's right. I shoot for trying to get my audience to tolerate me. That's what we're shooting for. Hopefully we can get there. Dude, I know, right? It was like insane. Well, I mean, see, this is controlled lighting. What I've got now, I've got my two diffuser lamps, and they're set to whatever, and I got everything kind of set. If I turn that lamp on, like here's one lamp. Like, it's a 800-watt bulb in there. Just to I like to use it to cook my turkey when I'm doing my office stuff. Yeah. Actually, it looks way worse on camera than it is. It's like a normal bulb. It's just that everything's kind of balanced, right, for this one setting of light. Well, hello. I'm doing well. Hi, Phoenix. Hello, River. Hi, Samus. Hi, Ukulele. Thanks for being here. I'm trying something new. There's a thing I want. This is an experiment on behalf of all content creators, which I've heard is a good thing. What I want to try to do is right at the beginning here, while I'm streaming, and I'll try to do it earlier before stream, is that I'm going to post a short. So I'll show you what I've got here. Let's see if I can pull it up. Right, you guys know about this system. Really started up, dude. I'm so glad you're doing PT. That makes me so happy. I know it's because there's a lot of people out there who would just be like, you know what? No, I'm not doing PT. It sucks. It hurts. I'm not going to try. You know, but you know, it's a balance, right? Like, okay, I hurt, but if I hurt differently, I'll maybe feel better. Otherwise, I just sit around hurting all the time. So I'm glad you're doing it. Keep up the good work. Let us know when you get approved for that drug or the injection, because that's like a big deal. So as I was saying, this is, if you look at this is Opus Pro, and Opus Pro. What's cool about it is it allows you to it edits all your shorts for you. I punch in the information, like this is yesterday's stream. I put in yesterday's stream, and I've got this many shorts that it decided that I could make out of my out of that one video, right? And so what I've heard is that if you post a short when you're live, it could go. Oh, hey, thanks for the subscription. I appreciate that very much. Thank you. What happened to my animation? Tell you what, Stream Elements is not a super fan of YouTube. It's not as good as Twitch. Yeah, dude, AI can make shorts, and it's really, really good. The Opus Pro system is stellar. And so what it does is it goes through and it gives you the little script and the whole 9 yards. And so what I'm going to do, once we get to a certain place, I'm going to post the thing and then see if that helps with the discovery. Two weeks and 2 days, she said it was and she said to wait 2 weeks before calling to find out. That's funny. That's funny. Well, what it does is you put in your YouTube talk or whatever YouTube thing, and then it scans through the whole thing, turns it into text, adds all the you can organize it, make it look better. You can edit it right in their system. It automatically adds the closed captioning, and now they got a system where they're going to be adding automatic B-roll as well. It doesn't work for games though. It only works for talking content. I saw an animation swirls behind your camera. Back here? Oh, no, it was. Hold on. It's supposed to look like this. Let me go back to that scene. Yeah, it's really nice, Kirk. Like, it really is. I'm a huge fan of it. It cost a lot of money. It really did. It was a couple $100 for a year. But it's to me anyway, because I can't do my own short editing. I just don't have the time. It saves my bacon. He makes shorts of his sermons. Well, this is a good system for that. This will help. So, okay, if I do a subscriber event, right, that's supposed to happen. Did you see that? That was what was supposed to happen when Gert subscribed. Right? I don't think it did. Okay. So, the short is now done. I'm going to try posting it, and just to see what happens, because there's actually, it lets you auto post to Instagram and TikTok and YouTube, but it's not perfect. It's not perfect. Hi, Dragon. Hello, Pineapple. It, like, for example, it does YouTube really good, because YouTube is a really good system for adding whatever. But what it does not do well is it doesn't like it doesn't connect to TikTok, because TikTok doesn't let you just auto post. You have to still open up the TikTok app. You still have to go. You still have to punch in all the information. So it's really not worth it. So I'm going to do my best here to pay attention. But I really want to try this, because if it works, right? Like, and most people here are curious about it. Samus, I'm sure. Ukulele, I'm sure. Gurk, I'm sure. If I post a short while I'm streaming, does it help with discovery? That's the experiment, right? So let's do this together, shall we? You guys can watch how I do it. So this is Opus Pro, right? Opus Pro has finished the edit, so that's good. I'm going to download the thing. I'm going to go to ChatGPT, and I'm going to go to my YouTube title expert. I'm going to grab my text that it gave here. I'm going to go new video. Here's the script. Okay. So now it gives me an option for a title. There's the keywords. There's the description. Give me 5 more titles. Include questions. Include viral questions. There you go. Cheers. Well, 100K subs, 10K views. Dude, that's so good. I mean, I'm glad they're able to identify. Does he have someone doing it for them? I can only assume you have a decent camera and a decent audio setup, because the issue with most churches is that you're like from 1,000 miles away. The pastor's like halfway off to the side, and he's only this big. That would make a really bad short. But if you have somebody there like really doing the camera work properly, then I think you could really get it. Yeah. How strong is your personal identity as a streamer and content creator? Can you maintain authenticity amid changing taste? Is your streaming message aligned with your personal beliefs? Are you sacrificing yourself for attention online? There you go. How to retain your integrity as a creator. I like that title. Cool. So we're going to use this button. We're going to go. Actually, they also suggest title. Finding your personal identity, staying true to yourself amidst criticism. Nah, I like this one better. Cool. Full production team. Well, yeah, there you go. That helps. Okay, join us as we delve into the significance of personal identity and staying true to your message, particularly in the realm of content creation and streaming. Discover ways to maintain your authenticity. All right, that's not great, but it's enough. Cool. So click one time to post. And go. Oops, I accidentally posted it to TikTok. There, the video has been successfully published to TikTok. Open TikTok if you want to open TikTok. Good, let's go to the dashboard. And we'll take a look at, not that dashboard, at this dashboard. And content. It's there. It's on and it's pending. I'm very happy. Okay, good. Now we can start the stream. Let's see what happens. That's the question. What's going to happen now? Are we going to get a few more? If we get a few more people, we get a few more, like kind of people dropping in saying hello, then we know it worked. And if we get absolutely nobody and it's exactly the same amount of people and we get no more attention than usual, then we know that at least today, either the short sucked or that doesn't work or I did it wrong. Actually, we won't know much. Dog threw up in your bed last night, still trying to deal? Oh, that's too bad. Yeah, I don't know. I'm more and more convinced that animals belong outside. Like this week, there's a news this week. In town, in Ottawa, apparently there's been this huge influx of cats. You know what I mean? So like the SPCA is like, last month we had 90 cats donated to this location. We don't have room for all these cats, right? So come get your cat. And they were counting kittens and they were counting like the brand new little cats who gave birth and all that stuff. So it's like there's like a million. Like, my thoughts are full of the, it's like you listen to Bob Barker and of course he tells you get your pet spayed or neutered, because that way you don't have a bunch of cats out there that are running around and you have to put down anyway. But the SPCA puts down a ton of cats, like, so we give them to the SPCA and then they'll murder half of them or 3/4 of them because they can't do anything with them, or or if they give them up for adoption, they charge a pile of money. And some of those cats are not great. They're not house cats. They're kind of messed up because they were feral or they weren't weaned properly or whatever. And so, like, it's really difficult to get a really good pet. I think finding a good pet and a good pet owner and a healthy cat, healthy dog, healthy whatever is a real challenge these days, because you got so many people that are using animals for income, or you're people that don't know how to take care of them, or people who use them as decorations rather than believe they're creatures that need to be taken care of. I don't know. It's harder and harder for me to justify the everybody having a pet, because I don't think everybody can have a pet. They're not built. Some people aren't built for it. So, but they'll go get them anyway. They would a rabbit, right? At Easter, haha, we have a rabbit, and then all of a sudden they just let the rabbit go, or they don't feed it. Get a puppy at apparently, like, January is a huge influx of pets for SPCA, because because of all the pets that people get at Christmas, and they realized they didn't want to put the work into training it. River, so opinions, are 2-hour streams too short? Yes. I mean, I would say this. It depends on your content, depends on what you're trying to do, depends on how you're maneuvering your material, right? So, like, if you're doing the same game every day and all the rest, and you're grinding, and that's what people are watching, then yeah, 2 hours isn't very long at all. If you're like me and you're doing like a teaching content, it's hard to do 4 hours of teaching content. I'd lose my marbles, you know what I mean? But if I were to continue to do this, I think the 4 hours, 2 hours of teaching, 2 hours of gaming is right. Optimally, I wouldn't switch to another to Twitch, or I wouldn't switch between them, because you just stay on the same one. But you know what? We're going to do this for a little while and see what happens. I don't think 2 hours. I think 2 hours isn't long enough. I think 3 hours should be about the minimum for your average streamer. I'm sure there can be a 2-hour stream or a lunchtime stream or whatever, and it totally is valid. But I would say 3 is the minimum. But you don't have to go over 5. That's the other thing. You don't need a 10-hour stream to kill yourself with. It doesn't really help. You know, if you're like after 4 hours, 5 hours, you're too tired to make good content. So just, stop and then go make good shorts. Oh no, cats. There are usually a ton of cats. Needed support, TNR, trap neuter release. Yeah, programs. Yeah. The trap neuter release. Oh, interesting. I've never heard of that. Still though, I that still seems cruel. You know what I mean? Because they're just gonna get hit by a car, ran over, or live in the forest. They're not. It's not. Girk doesn't want a pet. Yeah, I can understand that. Like I do. I love a cat. I like cats. My daughter's allergic, and I don't think that we're anybody. If we can't finish our laundry properly, then you can't feed an animal. Sorry. Let me know when you can keep your room clean. Then we can talk about you keeping a living creature alive. That's the minimum. Some people aren't good pet owners. Some people think need things to look after for a hobby, so they collect animals. Yeah, and animal hoarding is real. You're absolutely right. And I love fish, because fish are cool. You put them on the shelf, they look nice, they're easy to take care of ish. If you do it right, it's not super easy. But you can if you can get your ecosystem working, it does have to work for you. Yeah. Only time I'll have will be 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. That's 3 hours. Well, and dude, like, that's actually really good. So, for example, and not that hold on, bugging me. Hold on. The like, for example, with Taco, we got ukulele in the morning, 6 a.m. to 8 basically, right? And if we had someone from 8 to 11, and then we had someone from noon till 4, and then we got Quiz or Chobi from like 4 till 9, and you got Quiz there somewhere going into the evening, or even Chovy after, depending on how it works. But like, if you could do that and have someone like at that moment, you could really keep taco content going all day long, and then everybody would be. So I think there's a valid reason. I say that because I think there's a valid reason that is that for having a weirdly timed one, other people will be there too. If you build your content, you work really hard on it, you find your audience, you communicate to your audience well, you put in the work, yeah, you're gonna be fine. You'll be fine. There are people that want to load that up. Like, think of what's her name? The woman from the one who come from New Zealand, right? She comes in every now and again, and she's from the future, right? She shows up. She turns on Twitch at 7 a.m. First thing she does when she wakes up, she doesn't go to the news. She doesn't go to the weather. She doesn't turn on the radio. She turns on Twitch, and so she's looking for someone to hang out with on Twitch at first thing in the morning. So there are people like that for sure, and you get to work. You're like, okay, I'm at work. I'm doing my thing. I either can sit there and listen to the same radio station forever, or I can turn on Twitch and have company first thing in the morning. Why not? Heck, if you make it a coffee show, I don't mean you make it into like a morning show where you do interviews and stuff, but it's like you recognize that what you're doing is you're having a personal coffee time with someone, and you're making that, that, hey, I recognize that you're probably at work. I recognize you're probably second monitor. I know that you're looking for someone to chat into your ear and do something interesting and try to be funny or show you new cool stuff or whatever it is. I'm going to do that. That's what I'm here for. And here's a game that I'm going to play. I think the downside, or the thing that you would do wrong, the way that you'd approach it wrong is, I don't care what my content is. I'm going to do it at this time and hope that people like it. I think it's exactly wrong. I think it's more along, I have to stream at this time. These are the people that are available. This is what they're looking for. And this is the message I want to communicate. Then I'll go there, right? I think that way you're going to get some, yeah. This is my morning show with the kids. Oh, and that's great. I appreciate it. Unfortunately, it's a teaching show. So sorry, kids. The game starts later. Come back in 2 hours when we're playing this really neat game where in the world of that looks like ketchup and mustard, we get to try to figure out hieroglyphs. That actually sounds boring for kids, but it was actually pretty fun. It was pretty fun. My sister thought she had 2 female rabbits in a single cage before anyone knew that happened. They had really? That's what rabbits do, right? Rabbits make more rabbits. That's what they're known for doing that for sure. TNR, there's a reduced human cost. It's better than just killing the cats. I agree. It's better than just having a bunch of cats that you're just destroying. But people need to take responsibility. But they don't. They don't. Creators don't take responsibility for their creations. People don't take responsibility for their kids. Husbands don't take responsibility for their wives. Parents don't take responsibility for their children. If we could get people to do that, this world would be a better place. Yeah. It's wild how much work I put into growing my stories, social media? My stories social media than my own. It's like weird how much easier it is than an actual job. Well, probably because it's focused, right? It's focused. You that's the easiest, for me anyway. It's really easy to make this morning's content or whatever we're doing this afternoon, because I know exactly what I'm doing. I know exactly what the content is, and I know exactly what the notes are, and I can just go talk about them. For you, like for the work, it's like, this is what we're doing, and this is what we need to do, and this is the mission, this is the sale, this is what's happening on the calendar event, and they have things together. It's easy to put out content. It's okay, now what am I going to do? What do I want to do? What do I want to say? What interesting idea do I have? That makes it harder. Which is why I'm a big believer in lists and schedules and plans, and just kind of going, okay, here's my theme. The theme of my channel is, or this is the game I play, or this is the audience I'm trying to reach. Therefore, that's going to self-generate. Like if you did Honkai Star Rail or Genshin, there's always an update, there's always a character, there's always a new adventure, there's always something that you can kind of like grab onto and kind of say, this is what the content is now. Whereas if it's like you were doing, I don't know, Call of Duty, right? Eventually, no, that's not a good example. Some older game that all the content's already been made, that would be harder. I actually feel the car content and all that. I feel actually creative on the car content. That's my ideas. Yeah, that's great. But again, it gives you the structure to work within. Art flourishes under What's the quote? Artists flourish under constraint? Is that the right word? But the idea is that if you give an artist freedom, like here's all the money in the world and every canvas on the planet, they're going to be paralyzed. However, if you say, okay, artist, here is a piece of wire and one color and a piece of wood, make something cool, the artist will do a far better job trying to put stuff together. Ultimate freedom is too many options. And that constraint causes, like, for example, with money. Like, I don't have any money, so therefore I have to paint with this, or I have to use the free software, so I have to figure it out. And that figuring it out causes you to actually, I think, can make better stuff. You make better stuff. Or at least more unique personal stuff. I'll say it that way. More uniquely personal stuff. Yeah, and you need to force a direction. It's not as instinctual. Yo, Denalid, how you doing, man? What are we talking about? Well, we kind of started talking about content creation and, the timing of it and the content you put behind it and how do you become passionate about it? How do you create it? We just kind of started about that kind of stuff. I was literally about to switch over to the chat today. So you're just in time. Let's do that. Yeah, we're still warming up. I apologize for being late. I was very, again, this, like I said, this week has been a little weird for me because normally I feel the sense of kind of panic, right? For wanting to get down here and make sure that I've got everything, put together properly, et cetera, et cetera. But right now I'm legitimately like, I slept till like 10 today. Although I was up super early and then I did stuff late at night. Like I slept till 10 today and I rarely do that. I don't know what's going on with me. I don't know if I'm tired, if I'm just not being disciplined enough, but that's why I'm late. Warm-up conversation so random but interesting, but YouTube doesn't really notify me any better than Twitch does. Really? I'm kind of shocked at that because I get an email for my own stream. It's like, ding, you're streaming. Like, thanks, I know. Ben Larkin will agree, try to figure out content can be difficult. Yeah, that's, again, I'll say it again. If you're struggling with what am I supposed to make and what am I supposed to do and what comes next, you need a theme. You need a really figured out, really focused theme. Like for even Genshin, it's too big. Let's use that example, Genshin Impact, too big, right? If you said that I'm gonna theme my content around one character, right? One character, and I'm going to talk about every single thing about them. I'm going to talk about, their history, the best way to build them, the best, artifacts that work with them, the art behind them. I'm going to do other people fan art. I'm going to show fan art of them. I'm going to read like fanfic about them, which is then you got to change your rating. But if just like one character, if you just went hard on one character, you'd find your audience, because what'll end up happening is people who like that character, you're going to be coming up more and more in their feed, in their algorithm, because you're feeding them that one thing. And if they want to go nuts on that and you're going nuts on that, that's what they'll do. But if you're like, I'm going to make generic content about Genshin, it's going to just get lost in the mess. You know what I mean? Going to get lost in the mess. I mainly do Minecraft. It's super hard to be unique, but if you're 1 in 10,000 plus, you have to be. Yeah, and again, Minecraft's a great example. Because it's a great sandbox to do a million things, right? There's a sandbox to do a million things. You can do vanilla Minecraft, but do it with other interesting people on a server. You can do vanilla Minecraft, and you can do it in hardcore mode and whatever. You can add a million mods to it. You can make it Twitch interactive. You can do all kinds of things in Minecraft to make it, a little bit special. But it's hard. Hard issue is you're pigeonhole yourself with only covering one unit. You're pigeonholing yourself purposefully, though. That's what I'm saying, right? And in fact, and even then, you get your one unit that you're talking about, and it's going to spin off conversations, right? For example, in the last arc, remember when so-and-so, my character that I always talk about, bumped into so-and-so. Well, so-and-so's history is this, and so-and-so's history is that, and that's how it connects to this, you know. And then this weapon here, which is mostly for this person, and here's why it is for this person. If you put it on our main character that we always talk about, this is what'll happen, right? You'll spin off, but at least you'll have a grounding, like some kind of anchor for what you're doing. Yeah, forgotten forever. And it's true. That is the downside, because what ends up happening is whatever's new, whatever's novel, whatever's the latest thing that comes out, everything else goes away. I completely agree. I was just giving an example. I'm not saying it was a good idea. I'm just saying that was an example of focused content, right? For me, I'm focusing on personal development, right? I've put the devos aside. I put the chat, the general chat stuff. A lot of it is, you know, we're really focusing right now on personal development stuff in order to, because I believe it's a gap in people's lives. I think there's lots of people out there who would love to get personal development, love to get life coaching, love to get discipleship training and all that stuff, and they don't have it. They don't have a pastor, they don't have a church, they don't have a mentor, they don't have a leader, they don't have someone to invest in them, and I can do that. So because I have the skills and it's not much out there, I'm going to do it. Now, is it popular? No. I think there's lots of people who need it, but it's real. If you're going to choose, right? Yeah, I can be entertained today. I can go to, watch some funny video. I can sit there and I can scroll TikTok and, drool, or I can go play a game, or I can whatever. Versus I'm going to sit here and get challenged and have to think through this personal development stuff. It requires an investment. It really does. Yeah, it would take dedicated manpower. It would take dedicated people. I agree. Oh, sorry, I missed your comment. If you're familiar with David Tent's in Washington, D.C., which is a 24/7 music worship service done in shifts, I would love to see 24/7 Bible study on Twitch done in shifts. That hasn't been done. It's not 24/7, but I don't know a single Christian streamer who is a purposeful Christian streamer who doesn't start with a Devo or have a Devo at some point. I think I'm the only one at this point, which is ironic because I'm a Baptist preacher and was a preacher for 16 years and, gave Devos for 2 straight years on stream. It is my passion. It's what I want to do. And I put it aside because there's so many people out there doing it. Right. So but you're right. There's no 24/7. I assume, but clips periods can be archived for later. Yeah. On Variety, lately been playing Ark, but meat on my stream has been discussion, going through a book on Christian philosophy. And that's very focused, right? Very focused. Yep. XtianNinja, a Devo is not the same as a Bible study. That's true. Yes, I agree. You're right. Yeah, okay. Okay, good point. That's a good point. Next section is actually on spiritual growth. Yeah, well, there you go. See? That's a good thing. I thought this would be a good one. Like, I think in 10 years, when I'm done this stuff, I think I'm going to go through something like this, which is it's systematic theology, is what it is. It's systematic theology, which sounds intimidating, but it's really not. It's just a systematic way to understand God in the Bible. And it's you take it in small bites and you're able to cover a lot of ground. And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I should be doing Bible studies and whatnot. But it just feels like that's covered by the market. It's I don't know, maybe. Like if you go watch Pastor Dustin, you go watch what's his name there? You can go watch Flat Capped Afro Pastor. You can go watch that one dude that I can't remember his name, and he's always doing work streams. He's got a cool name. I can't remember his name. But anyway, it's out there. I'll tell you what. Let me pray, and we're gonna jump into what we're talking about today. God, thank you for the stream. Thank you for the day. Thank you for your love, and thank you for bringing us together. I know that you are good, and that you give each person a special gift and ability in your kingdom to be able to serve each other, to serve the world, serve you. And we're all seeking that. I pray that you would bless this content to be able to be seen by more and more people, that I'd be able to get to 1,000 subs, that people would really appreciate what I'm doing, not because of me, but because they want to improve themselves, but because they want to grow in their faith and in their life, so that they can become better friends and people and teachers and leaders and workers. This is my passion, and I pray that you'd help me to convey it. I pray for everybody who's listening, that their heart would be knit together with yours, and that we'd be able to enjoy each other's company and glorify you by whatever is done. Thank you. Amen. Reaction content? Yeah. Epitome. That's what I'm thinking of. Yeah. Epitome. Reaction content. That's actually something that I've been thinking about. My daughter is on my back because she's like, react to this, react to this, react to this. And for me, I'm like, I don't know why I'm gun shy, or if I'm lazy, or if I'm just, I know it's going to be, maybe I'm just afraid, because the last reaction I did, which was like 2 years ago, year and a half ago, got me absolutely just trounced. Got a lot of hate for doing that. So maybe, I don't know. But yeah, I think reaction is good. You've been reacting to things lately? That's cool. Yeah, I mean, it's a double whammy, right? I mean, content-wise, you get to see the content and you get to have somebody think about it. So you get both. It's like a double dose. So I think that's why it's so popular. Hi, Lizzie. Good to see you. Welcome to the stream. We're going to talk about compassion today. Today we're going to talk about compassion. Yesterday, if you recall, we were talking about character, generally speaking, character. Like what is a person's character like, right there. And a person of good character has, a strong personal identity. They are emotionally secure. They have strong ethics and values, and they're self-disciplined. Today we're talking about compassion. Like, what makes a good person? What makes a good leader? What makes a good parent? A good church worker? A good employee and good employer? One of the things that they need to be is compassionate. They really do. They need to be compassionate. Reaction is good, but sometimes it needs sensitivity. And whenever I react, it's always completely off the cuff. So that in itself is a little dangerous, because I don't write scripts. Ain't got time for that. What are you talking about? Being prepared? Ain't got time for that. So compassion. Well, the issue of character deals with the world's perception of a leader. Compassion deals with a leader's perception of others in the world. Compassion is a virtue that takes seriously the reality of other persons. There you go. Their inner lives, their emotions, as well as their circumstances. That is such a great quote. Trinity to be compassionate. Yes. Well, exactly. Well, no, I disagree. I think a prepared script can be a very good reaction. But compassion is a virtue that takes seriously the reality of other persons, their inner lives, their emotions, as well as their external circumstances. It is one thing to be a quote-unquote good leader or a good mentor or a good parent or whatever, and be like, because of my skills or because of my abilities, I want to be able to pour my life into this person. I want to make sure that I have strong character. I want to make sure I have good self-discipline. I want to have good care for how people perceive me. I want to make sure that I'm loving and dedicated and following through on stuff. This is different. This is compassion. This is where your servant-heartedness comes out. This is where it costs you, right? This is emotional. This is emotionally dangerous, because if you ask anybody who has a deep level of compassion or empathy or sympathy, those sensitive people, when they watch the news or when they watch a movie or when they see their friend or they go to church or whatever, and something is not right, it hurts them. It hurts them. So it's one thing to build self, to build self. Like you think about it from someone who's working out, someone with good character. They're walking in, they've got the self-discipline to be able to work out, to build their muscles. They've got the ability. They're helping other people build their muscles. They're showing how to do it. They're making sure everybody's safe. That's a good thing. Compassion is about going out into the world and using the muscles that you built in the world to help others. right? It's not just about building self and helping others and growing others and making others better and making yourself better. It's about using everything you have for the sake of someone else. A virtue that takes seriously, as in you feel on behalf of, you care about, you hurt for, you're angry, on behalf of other people. You care about their inner lives. That's a big one, right? That you look at somebody, and it's not just that they're poor. It's not just that they're addicted. It's not just that they've been abused. It's that their heart is hurt. They don't like people. They are consistently afraid. They're not growing, and they feel guilty and shameful and whatever. Their inner life is what drives you to want to help them, because you're like, man, it's one thing to be, to have a physical addiction or to be someone who's faced abuse. Like that's bad, of course, but it's the result of that causes you to, be afraid of people, to not join groups, to be distrusting of whatever gender, to not want to have friends, to keep everybody at a distance. That gives you, sadness, depression, loneliness, like all that inner life stuff is a result of that problem. And someone who's compassionate isn't just like, oh no, that person needs to be fed, which is good. It's that person needs to be fed because I want them to feel like they have a friend, feel supported, feel loved. I want them to feel like they have someone to depend on. I want them to know that they feel they're cared for and that they're an exception to the rule, and we want to give them something. Like I want their inner life to be better. It's not just about feeding them. I want their inner life to be better. Their emotions, as in I care about what they care about. I hurt for what they hurt for. I celebrate what they celebrate, as well as their external circumstances, right? Yeah, obviously we want to feed those who are hungry or protect those who are in danger, but it goes deeper than that. How well do you express compassion for others? That's the question. How well do you express compassion for others? Does compassion move you to meet the needs of others and help resolve problems? Respond to these questions. Okay. So what the big subject here is personal reflection on, are you a good person? What's your leadership potential? What's your potential as a successful human being, someone who's going to go out and change the world? It's one thing, we just talked about self, right? All this stuff with self. I assume responsibility. I am secure in my identity. I do what I should do. Now, with all the personal stuff that you're doing and working on and all the great things that you are, what about others? What about others? Over compassionate can just become burden too heavy to carry. Compassion without perspective can feel like you're carrying the weight of the world. Yes, and I think of Christ, and I think of really the people that have really changed the world. It wasn't because of their skill set, right? It was because of their compassion, because of their willingness to sacrifice, their willingness to take a risk, their willingness to step into the problem, even at their own expense, because of their love for that other person, to take upon themselves discomfort, to take upon themselves danger, to take upon themselves the sickness or something that's going to permanently hurt them, because they cared so deeply about that other person. That's compassion, right? And so the question is, in this world, if you want to live as a fully devoted follower of Jesus, if you want to be a great person, not just a good person, not just successful, but to be a really incredible individual who has a lasting legacy in this world that other people are going to remember, that that other people look to and go, I want to be like that. One of the key things is compassion. So, here's the question. I will help those in need even when it costs me. I will help those in need even when it costs me. Scale of 1 to 10. And you can go through your history, right? So what are the things it can cost? It can cost you time. It can cost you money. It can cost you your reputation. It can cost you your job. It can cost you popularity, right? It can cost you your a future option that you are now closing off forever. It can cost you your health. It can cost you your emotional stability, right? If I go into that and I help that person, it's going to wreck me. You know what I mean? It can cost you stress, like completely stressed out. So the question is, and on a scale of 1 to 10, right? How much do you, or are you willing to step in to help people at your own cost? Because there are people out there who consider themselves compassionate because they feel on behalf of others. And they're like, oh yeah, I'm always crying about movies, and I look at the news and I really feel bad for the people in, whatever country, and I look around and I see homeless people, and that makes me sad. And I go to my church and I go to my group and I see people that are really not doing well, and that makes me sad. I'm a really compassionate person. Real compassion compels you to help, right? It compels you to help. So therefore, and even when it costs you, because it's not just a matter of, oh, I have some extra money here, would you like it? That's good. That's generous. That's a positive thing. That's not a bad thing. But compassion, sacrificial compassion, servant-heartedness that Jesus talked about, being a servant of all, it means it costs something. There's a little bit of a pain when you do it, because it's something that you are risking, or something you are taking away, something you don't get anymore, something that is going to cause you some pain, and you're going to give that up so that person feels better. It's based on the reality of other person's inner lives, right? That these people really do exist, and they really do matter, and they really have a future, and they have a purpose for being. I want them to feel better, even if it makes me feel worse. I want them to be happier, even if it makes me sad. I want them to be stronger, even if it requires my strength, right? Things like that. Their emotions, I want them to feel better, and I'll take the burden with them. I'll carry their sadness that I didn't generate, and I don't have anything to do with, but I'm going to step into and get covered in their muck a little bit so they can feel better, right? I'm going to give from my blessing and bounty so that they can feel better about themselves, or that they can be freed from this problem. It's going to cost me, and it's going to cost, and here's the multiple levels at which it can cost you. There's a word, I'm going to see if I can find it before a German word for realizing other people have lives. Sonder. It's the word sonder. So if you want to look an interesting word, I can never remember what this dang word is whenever I want it, but it's the word sonder. The realization that each random passerby is living a life as vivid and complex as your own, in which you might appear only once as an extra sipping coffee in the background. That's a great definition. Here it is for you, right? The word sonder. This is, I think, if you've ever had this experience where all of a sudden you're like, holy moly, other people exist. Like that whole other people, random people that I've never met before and will never meet again, have just as much value and problems and hopes and fears and struggles and relationships and as I do. Like, I'm not the main character. For them, they're the main character. I'm the bit part, right? They pass through my life. I don't exist anymore in their reality. It's this huge, and most of us live as the main character. We just assume we're the main character, and even when we help people, we do it because we're the main character. Obviously we need to help people because, that's what my life's all about. What if it was, I need to help that person because they're the main character? How would that completely radically alter how you live? If you're like, no, I'm just the background guy. Other people have lives, lol. Exactly, right? But it's true. That sonder thing is real. It's like, so you're like, what if you're like, no, I'm a background person. I'm a servant. They're the main character. That's actually what the qualification of a pastor, elder, teacher is, right? The way that it's talked about in the Bible is that it says that pastors, elders, teachers, were given to the church as a gift so that they can be prepared for the works that God has prepared for them in advance to do, to help them to get through the storms and to help them have wisdom to do that. In other words, my existence is only valuable in that I can make your life better, right? I only exist and I only matter and I only have fruit when you're doing better, when you're stronger, when you understand yourself better, when you're able to do more in this world. If it's about me, then as a pastor, as an elder, as a teacher, I'm doing it wrong. I'm doing it wrong. Feeling bad about someone's situation is empathy. Doing something to help them in this situation is compassion. Yeah, and empathy is good, but it needs to lead somewhere. Girk says that's something you have to remember in sales. What's something you have to remember in sales? Is that the other people exist and they really do have lives and stuff? It's true, if that's what you meant. Never felt like the main character. That's good. That's good. NPC AI is getting really good these days. And in truth, I know that's a joke, and like, can you look around and you're like, oh, everybody else is an NPC and I'm the main character. And if you go to Reddit, there's an actual subreddit that is its main character. I'm the main character, I think it's what it's called. It's just people that are just being obnoxious, self-centered jerks that do things at the expense of others simply because they do not believe other people matter. And there's a lot of people who live like that. Hey, Sonic, thank you for lurking. Appreciate that. Lizzie says, yep, guilty of that. Considering myself the main character, then having the realization that everyone else is, everyone has a life out there. Yeah, it's not a bad thing we talked about this yesterday, right? So we talked about this yesterday. I'm secure in my identity and my self-esteem. In other words, I like who I am. I believe that I'm important. When I say something, it matters. If I'm in pain, I'm allowed to say something. If people hurt me, I'm allowed to get out from underneath that hurt. If I have an idea and other people don't like it, it's okay if I move forward on the idea, even if people don't like me. That's secure identity. That's secure self-esteem. And there's nothing wrong with that, because we need to do that if we're going to be successful in this world. We can't be wishy-washy, changing our opinions and changing our focus just to try to meet the whims of whoever we're trying to make happy. We need to be strong. However, within that context, within that understanding of self, is the strength to say, in this situation right now, because of what's sitting in front of me, my choices don't matter as much. My future doesn't matter as much. My stuff doesn't matter as much. My personal health, my personal well-being, my personal safety, it doesn't matter as much as this other person's. The ultimate version of this is like police officer, or fireman or soldier. Fireman. What am I, 3? Soldier. Those kind of guys who are like, I will go and I will put my life on the line. I will go step into a place that I didn't start the problem, and I'm not part of the issue, and I don't even know half what's going on there, but I'm going to go put myself in danger because I believe those people matter, right? That's the heart. That's the compassion. Yesterday, I hated a coworker's idea. I sucked it up, did the idea, and now I think it was an amazing idea. Love the video. Don't know why I hated it at first. Yeah, that's, at least you know that. You're able to go, hey, maybe other people have good ideas. It's funny. B, I am moved emotionally by my love for others. Scale of 1 to 10. This is sort of an easy test in that you can kind of go, like the Kleenex commercial test, right? The old where you're sitting there watching a commercial, and all of a sudden you're like, man, I feel sad now. Whatever it is, something happened to someone else, and I'm moved. Now, this is not the same as the thing that happened in media, the thing that happened to that person, the thing that happened in the world reflects pain that I have. That's not the same, right? That, I was reminded of my abuse. I was reminded of my past. I was reminded of my difficulty with my parents. I was reminded of my grief and loss. I was reminded of a time I was treated unfairly, and that made me feel bad. That's not what this is talking about. This is other people are going through stuff, or other people need help, or other people are doing great. Other people have stuff, right? Their life, and I am happy on their behalf. I'm celebrating on their behalf. I'm sad on their behalf. I'm touched on their behalf. This is the person who can go to an awards ceremony and has no reason to be there other than the fact that they are there to celebrate someone else getting an award. They're happy for that person. They're clapping along. It isn't about them. It's about, wow, that person did great and I'm really happy for them, and their happiness makes me happy and their success makes me happy. I care about that. You know, other people will go to that same award and they'll be like, hey, how come nobody is looking at me? Hey, how come, you know, I'm here so that other people can see me. Hey, I'm here to attach myself to that person and try to glean some of the shine from them. I want some of the attention too. You know, that's why they're there. A person who has compassion, a good person, goes, I don't need to be the main character today. I am not. I'm just happy that they are happy, right? I'm moved emotionally by my love for others. How are you doing on that for a scale of 1 to 10? Would you say that you, like, say 1 at the bottom is, you know, a baby could fall out of a crib in front of me, land on the ground and start screaming, and I wouldn't even notice, you know? You know, I have absolutely no compassion for anybody. I'm just like, whatever. It's me and I don't care. 10, I think would be, I don't know if anybody wants to be 10. Maybe you do, you know, but the idea is that you really are invested in other people's lives and you understand their lives and you want their lives to be better. And you're like, man, I really care about a lot of people and I want them to be better. I'm probably like a 7. I would say, like, I'd be a 7. I'll help those when it costs me. It's, I don't know. I'm probably a 7 there too, right? My issue with that is that I don't have a lot to give. I give my time. I give my energy. I give my effort. I give my help. That's what I've got. I don't have a lot of stuff. But when it comes to emotionally moved by others, you know, I feel like I want them to feel better. I want them to have something. I want them to get attention. I want them to be successful. And I want that for them regardless of what happens to me, right? But at the same time, there are definitely times out there where something will happen and I'll be like, I just don't care, right? They got themselves in that situation, or they, you know, they were too stupid to not get out of it, or they, you know, they shouldn't have done that, you know. And I think that probably shows a lack of compassion for me, because when someone really blows it and it's all their fault and their life explodes, part of me is very much like, well, you kind of deserve your life to explode. And therefore you need to sit in that for a little while. I still want to help. I still want to talk to them. But at the same time, you know, it's, you feel sad because you deserve to feel sad. Sonic Knuckles says, I don't know if this would fit the topic here. I'm just a nobody trying to tell everybody all about somebody who saved my soul. Ever since you rescued me, you gave me my heart to sing. I'm living for the world to nobody but Jesus, character limits, but also forgotten slow mode. Oh, I see. I think maybe, kind of. No, not really. I don't know. If it applies to you, then great. I just don't, I don't know. That's more of a, I don't, nope. I don't know how it applies. I think it's a cool song, though. I think it's a cool song. Girk says, I hate it when parents celebrate their achievements on getting their kids to practice, even when the kid's being celebrated for their achievement. Oh, dude, yeah. Yeah, like standing next to their kid, you know, and trying to be in the pictures, or, you know, saying, you know, that, you know, look at him go. I'm the one who gave him that ability, that talent. I'm the one who, you know, I'm the reason that, you know, like, yeah, that's just a parent with low self-esteem trying to use their kid to feel better. It's like those parents that name their kids something stupid because they don't see their kid as a person. They see their kid as a pet or a belonging, right? So they call them a really stupid name, or they spell their name really stupid, or they, you know, they make it reflect something about themselves because they see their kid more like a handbag than they see an actual human being. Lizzie says, yeah, when we can't give much, all we can give is our time and ears to listen and words to encourage. And that's plenty, because there's a lot of people out there who don't have that. You know? Everyone around them is busy. Everyone around them is ignoring them, and everyone around them, whenever they share their problems, gives criticism. So that's plenty, right? Time, listening, and encouragement, for sure. Okay, let's keep going. Number C is, I am fulfilled when I serve and meet others' needs. That's such a big one when it comes to compassion, right? When it comes to you being compassionate, can you feel really good when someone else is better because you did something, right? This is Matthew chapter 6, right? When you give, do not let your left hand know what your right hand is doing. When you pray for someone, you know, don't let everybody know. Pray in your closet. When you serve, you know, don't let anybody know what you're doing. It's that. Can you do something for somebody? Can you share with somebody? Can you demonstrate love for someone and not have to get any credit, but you're just happy because something good happened to them, right? That a good person goes, I did a positive thing for that person. They're happy. And even if nobody ever knows, I'm perfectly content, because I didn't do it for me, and I didn't do it for my own attention, and I didn't do it for me to look better, and I didn't do it for me to, you know, convince myself I'm a good person so someone else has to affirm me. I just did it because their happiness makes me happy. Them being more comfortable makes me happy. Them being safe makes me happy. And I don't need to get an award for it. I don't need to be even seen for it. Do you do that? Can you do that? A good person, good human being, is compassionate. They're compassionate. This is something sorely lacking in the world today. We see so many sides. People taking sides, man. It's I am on this side. I'm a conservative. I'm a liberal. I'm on the side of this country. I'm on the side of that country. And it's like anything that happens to the other side that's bad, I'm happy about, right? Oh, that abortion clinic got exploded and 3 doctors were killed. You know, there are Christians who will be happy about that. And it's a complete lack of compassion, thinking that those doctors, those people, whoever was in there and got hurt, they had lives. Their lives are over. If they weren't believers, they spend eternity in hell. And they now have no chance for reconciliation. The pain of their families, the pain of their communities, the pain of, you know, it's all. This is good exploding abortion clinic music. But you know what I'm saying? Like, we have to look at the other side, right? The liberals, you know, the president so-and-so who I disagree with is sick. Yay. That's not compassion. It's if you're so staunchly on whatever side that the pain of the other side causes you pleasure, you're wrong. Right? This Israel-Palestine thing, right? We shouldn't be like, oh, anything that happens to Israel is bad and everything happens on the other side is good. I don't care about those families. We should have compassion for both sides. There are plenty of people that are being hurt on both sides that are in great pain. Right? They're in pain. We should care, right? We should care. Do you have compassion? Deleted. That's funny. Just like the current situation with Israel, people are happy saying Jesus is coming instead of stopping and praying for. Yeah, dude. Yeah. Is that true? That's very frustrating. Yeah, okay. I'm not gonna sit here and cry on stream, but that is very frustrating to celebrate that kind of thing and put it on the back of Jesus' return. That's, yeah, I don't like that. What did Pineapple say? Sorry, I missed it. Both sides of the war are messed up in so many ways. Yeah, exactly. But can we have compassion on both sides, right? Let's have compassion on both sides. I'll tell you what. We're gonna jump into the discussion portion. Yeah, that comment from Lizzie threw me off. Thank you for saying it, and I'm glad you did. That's not. Please don't say that. It's not about not saying that. It's about, like, yeah, that is awful. You know what I mean? That's truly awful. I'll tell you what. I'm gonna pray, and I see some comments. I'm gonna go to the other screen, and we can continue talking about this. God, thank you for your love and for care, for joy, for you caring so much about us, being compassionate, for sacrificing yourself, for giving yourself, for loving us so much, even while we were enemies, that you would trade your son that we might be saved. Thank you for being patient, so patient with us, for giving us when we don't deserve, for forgiving us even when we don't even understand what we did wrong. You're a very good God, and you're very compassionate. Help us have compassion for others. Show us ways we can be more compassionate with our families, with our kids, with our friends, with the people that are our enemies, to pour love on them that would be ashes on their head. It is, help us combat this in this world. Help us combat bad things and evil things with good things. Let us be the good in this world. In Jesus' name, amen. Okay. Is Empress Chronicle here? Hello. Hi, Empress Chronicle. Glad you're here. Ukulele Worship says, 2 Peter 3:9, the Lord is not slow to fulfill his promises, as some count slowness, but he is patient. I was just thinking about that. Patient towards you, not wishing that anyone should perish, but that each should reach repentance. Yeah. Yep. That's how we should be thinking, people. Really. Girk says, how do you feel about the glorification of mutilation and abuse towards those who preyed and abused children? People get so happy when rapists are hurt and don't know how to show compassion there. I would say there's two distinct sides to that. Number one is the sense of justice, right? There's a sense of justice in that bad people should face bad things. They're bad people. It is a natural human reaction, because we are crafted in the image of God, that when someone is bad, they should be punished, right? The perfect, compassionate, loving, wonderful God also keeps hell going. He's the one who keeps hell going. And because it is a good thing to punish those who are evil. It's a good thing to bring justice. That's right. However, the celebration of those cast into hell is wrong. That should break our heart. That should make us sad. Jesus, when he looked out at Jerusalem, he was weeping, because he's like, you who kill the prophets, that I sent to you to warn you, you who won't listen to me at all, you who I'm trying to save, you refuse and you continuously turn your back, and all you're doing is hurting yourself. And it crushed Jesus' heart to see the people he cared about that are going to go to hell, that are being punished, that are making their lives worse. So I think there's both, right? It should be a sense of, yeah, bad people should be punished. They really should. They shouldn't get away with it. However, to be happy that the person is hurt isn't the right thing. It should be, boy, it sucks they did that. It sucks that the person that they did that to had to go through that. And it sucks that person has brought hurt into their own life. Like, a compassionate person isn't going to celebrate any part of that pain, even to the person who is the perpetrator. It's going to be, you know what? Justice being done is a good thing, but it breaks my heart that it had to happen, right? I can understand, you know, someone who's a child abuser, someone who's a horrible person, that feeling of, yeah, I'm glad they got punched in the head. You know, I'm glad they got you know, castrated or whatever, shot in the face by their dad, because I can get there because, you know, like, it's like, well, this guy did something horrible to his daughter. The judge, they, you know, let him go and he got away with it because of some stupid thing that happened with the law, and the dad took justice into his own hands and shot the guy, you know, or came up and beat the tar out of him. I can get behind going, yeah, I can understand that. I can see why that would be something that someone would do. Because an injustice should cause rage in us. God hates injustice. We hate injustice. However, to celebrate any part of that situation is wrong. It should be, all of that was bad. There was no redeeming part of that. I'm gonna catch up on stream. I apologize. Feel bad about the whole thing. Fighting the war, Jesus in the end. Yeah, both sides are wrong. You're right. If this Jesus is coming, then that's scary. Hope, little time we have left to show others the hope of the gospel. And that's the biblical, you know, mindset. That's what Ukulele just said, right? It's like, God's being patient so more people can be saved. And in the same way, we should be anticipating the coming of Jesus. We should be thankful for the coming of Jesus, and at the same time living. It's the parable of the lamps, right? The virgins who had the lamps. Like, there are people who didn't care and they just kept their lamp going and they didn't even think of the future. There's others who were diligent and they're like, you know what? We're going to sit here in the dark. And we're not going to have good things for us, because at some point someone needs us. At some point we have a responsibility. At some point we got to step out there. So we're going to sit here in the dark and not use what we have. Whereas the other ones were like, well, no, this world is for pleasure, and I have a lamp and I'm going to light it, and I don't care about anybody else. I don't care about the person I'm supposed to be serving. I don't care about the wedding. I just care about myself. That message of preparing and caring about others and caring about the future and caring about this event in the future at your own, to sacrifice yourself. That's the message. Sonic says, we might not like that blank is in power or that blank is taking place, but God is allowing these things to happen for blank and should be shed to light for blank reasons. I mean, yeah, kind of. I don't subscribe necessarily to the everything bad happens, you know, for a good reason. That's not what Scripture says. It's everything that bad happens, God has the power to redeem, right? It's different. Hold the applause. Gerbert says, Proverbs 1:26-27, Ezekiel 18. It feels weird that we laugh at the demise of the wicked, but then feel bad that it happened. God apparently feels the same way. Yeah, exactly. That. Ezekiel 18:23. Do I have any pleasure from the wicked should die, says the Lord, and not that they should turn from their ways. Exactly. Yes, that's what I'm saying. That's what I said. But you said it better and with the Bible. Good job. Lizzie, compassion would be something like, yes, I'm glad they were sentenced with justice, but praying for them so that they repent on their wrongdoings and change their ways. Yeah. A silver lining, you know, we're like, it's not a bad thing to be a person looking for the silver lining. Be like, oh, the really horrible stuff. Let's find some good that came from it. I don't think that's bad. You know, kind of be like, okay, because that's sort of the God can reconcile this, or when, you know, this can be used for good because of miracles. You know, good things can happen through bad stuff. It's not impossible. But this whole the idea of I'm celebrating this when a human gets tossed into hell, or when a bad guy gets permanently destroyed and is just gone forever, eternity in hell. We shouldn't celebrate that. New take on the Virgin's Lamp story? Nah, not a new take, just a different take. It's maybe one you haven't heard before. Posted a meme on Taco yesterday. Salvation is not making a good person better, nor making a sick person well. It's making a dead person alive. Yeah, that's why so many of the illustrations of salvation don't work. It's like you're throwing a rope to a drowning man. You're trying to, or it's like you're it's like, no, it's not. Salvation is not throwing a life preserver to a drowning man. It is that implies the person swimming. It implies the person is at the top of the water. What you're doing is you're going down in a scuba suit and you are taking a dead body that is rotting and gross on the ground and is like one of those zombies from Pirates of the Caribbean who's like gonna stab you because it's nighttime and they're also gross and horrible, and you are taking off your scuba suit and you are giving it to that scary monster so that they can float to the top, so that they can be reconciled. It's very not what you said it was. Many of the best leaders I've known were never in the top position. Others followed them naturally because they see the working results. And that's true too, right? Like those who can let their actions speak for themselves as opposed to having to always be the one talking. There's something there. There's maturity there, right? If you can just shut up and let your work do the talking, or shut up and let the situation play out, or not have to step in every 5 minutes and defend yourself, allow God to defend you, allow others to defend you, that's a mature take. It's the people who are constantly jumping in and being like, no, that's not fair, and that's not what I meant, and whatnot. Just back off and let the situation and let others defend you. Let God defend you, let others defend you, so that eventually when it comes around, people are like, oh, we were wrong. Because if you stand there and scream about how innocent you are, nobody's going to listen. And it actually can make the situation far worse. Yeah, everyone's dead in sin. Yep. Thing to think about. What was in the cup? Of what? What cup? What cup? Of what? What? Are you talking about your tweet? I think I missed something. What cup of what? Are you talking about the cup of wrath that Jesus had? It often in Scripture, a cup, is the cup of wrath. Yeah, it's the cup of wrath is what it is. It's not a good thing. And what you said in your tweet was right. It literally is the cup of the consequences of taking the wrath of God upon himself for the sake of others. He didn't deserve it. He did it anyway. That's what that is. The cup of destiny, the cup of the future, the cup of things that's going to happen that's bad, having to adjust that. Yeah. Well, tell you what, it's time for an AMA, Ask Me Anything. I would love it if you guys would feel free to ask anything about anything, Bible stuff, life stuff, counseling stuff, personal development stuff about me, anything. It's an AMA, ask whatever you want. I always stream from 12 to 2, and then I'm going to jump over to Twitch, and we're going to go play that Sonar game again. I really liked that. That was fun yesterday. I didn't think I would at first, but I did. I really did. Thank you to whoever helped me on coffee just now. Speaking of which, !Coffee, KOFI. And if you like what I'm doing and you appreciate what's happening here and you like the teaching and you like where we're going in Taco, then I could use your support over on Coffee. I am completely funded by donations. I don't have a job other than this. This is what I do. And so if you could help me out, that'd be great. Plus, that's where I put all my updates for what I do. And that's free. You can go there and see that. You can go see all the things that I'm up to. Sign up for the newsletter and you'll get it for free. Other thing is I'm trying to grow YouTube, 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 and that means I need your help to tell people. Tell your church, tell your friends, tell your pastor, tell your small group, tell the people that you know who are looking for a good conversation, something meaningful, some training, some kind of interesting thing in the afternoon, some way to go and hang out and learn more about. So if you're liking what we're doing and having a good discussion here, you can help me out by telling people. That's super critical. Please do that. And then the last thing is to just kind of be mindful of the fact that a like and a subscribe on here, it really helps. Liking and subscribing, and if you want to go the extra mile, looking at my videos and like running through my playlist on like there's one called the fundraising playlist. If you just play that in the background, you will be able to you'll help me with my watch time. Algorithm will think I'm making good stuff, and maybe I can get to my 500 subscribers and proper watch time, so I can start kicking off some cool stuff. That's all in your guys' hands. I can't make that happen. It's all in your hands. So let's do an AMA, and then if there is no questions or anything that you guys want to ask, I will shut her down. I'll take a break and I'll head over to Twitch and I'll meet you there at 2:00. But I'm more than happy to ask. And actually, even if I'm on Twitch, come by and ask me anything. You know I'll pause and we'll have a good talk. I love doing it. So here's a chance. Here's your chance. Ask whatever you want. It's rare for a church to turn down offers of help. I disagree. I know plenty of churches that often say no to help because of where it comes from. And that's a good thing. I'm good, Dragon. I'm good. I really am. I've had a good week. Things are looking up. Had a bit of bump in the road last over a few days ago and whatever, but today I'm doing really good. Thank you for asking. Yeah, I don't think churches should just say yes to everything that comes down, or anybody. I don't think anybody should say yes to anything that anybody offers. You need to consider the source. You have to consider who's giving it to you. Otherwise, you're going to get yourself in trouble. And exactly, DJ. Like they said, you know what? No, not now, not yet, or whatever. And heard Ray Comfort say that the world has become gospel hardened. I would say that we have let the gospel become soft. That's an interesting point. I think Ray Comfort's point is the vast majority of the planet has heard the story of Jesus. Okay, within the context of the the West, everybody thinks they know the story. They think they know what Jesus did. They think they know why Jesus did it. They think that it's either been disproven, or they think that the Bible is obviously false. They think that religion is the worst. They think that because of so much abuses in the church and in religion, that it's basically been shown that nobody should join any of these organizations because they're all evil. And because evolution and because science, it's all deleted Christianity. We've all disproven Christianity with science. So I think that's what he means, is that when someone brings up the gospel, everyone's going to go, yeah, I know what that means. And I think it's absolute bunk. As opposed to actually going, this is what the actual gospel is. Would you listen for a second? I think that is probably what he means by gospel hardened, is that people think they already know, and so it's really hard to tell them. Right? It's really hard to tell them. It's like someone who has learned, say, Word 2002, or that's what they've learned, or they're hardcore into whatever their software is, and it's from 35 years ago, but that's what they know. And you're like, dude, if you just get the new software, it's 1,000 times faster and it'll make everything in your life better. And they're like, no, this is what I know, and this is what I'm doing, and this is how I know how to do it, and you're just trying to confuse me. No. It's sort of that intractability, that inability to break through that stubbornness and go, no, let me tell you what the actual truth is. That's what hardened is. Now, when you talk about we have let the gospel become soft, I think the problem with the way the phrasing of it is that the gospel is the gospel. It is neither hardened nor soft. It is what it is. Our responses to it and our delivery of it is what's changed. The world has become hardened to the gospel. The gospel, we have softened the delivery. I think that's true of some. I think you have some churches who have decided, and some Christians, some pastors, some denominations are terrified that they're losing people and worried that they're not going to be popular. They're worried that they're going to lose their churches or their money or their positions or whatever. And so their solution is to stop talking about sin, stop talking about hell, stop talking about discipline, stop having membership, anything that's like a barrier. They're removing all the barriers. And that's softening everything about Christianity or everything about what it means to be part of a church. And it not working. All it does is just shows that they've watered down and they don't care about what they were saying either. And so why should I? So that's one of the, yes, I believe there are some who severely altered the gospel, either eliminated the difficult stuff and only talk about the positive stuff, or they have completely changed it. Like, for example, the people who refuse to use the term amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. And they're like, we can't have the word wretch in the song Amazing Grace. We're going to change the word wretch. That's a bad word. Nobody likes that word. You wouldn't want to call yourself a wretch. Let's change that word. And so they changed the word to soul. Save a soul like mine, And it's save a soul like me. That is the softening of the delivery of the gospel. You have to say that you're a wretch. You have to get there. I'm a wretch. I'm blind. I'm lost. That's where I am. I need someone to find me, someone to cure me, and someone to save me. That's just the way it is. And I don't want to be saved. I need someone to change me completely. But at the same time, I would go the other side. I think that one of the reactions that the church has had, or that some Christians have had, is to make the gospel harder, and God, they're more judgmental than God, and they're more judgmental than Jesus, and they're more hardcore than anything. Like they come in and they want to make, they're like sort of the Pharisees, or they're like any of the pagan people from the Bible that are like, no, we got to add a bunch of extra stuff on this, because just believing in Jesus and isn't enough. We need you to do all these other steps, and you gotta follow this political party, and you gotta donate this much, and you gotta go on a mission trip, and you gotta become a member, and you're not allowed to talk to these people. You have to study this book, and you have to only use this version of the Bible, and you have to be married, and you're not allowed to watch any movies, and that's Christianity. And they have this ultra hardcore version of Christianity that for them is like this reaction to the watered down one. And both are wrong. Both are wrong. This one is wrong because it puts the salvation in the hands of people, and this one is wrong because it denies the reality of sin. They're both wrong, right? Salvation still is free, and you can still do nothing and get saved and go to heaven. Right? The Bible says that there are people who will get into heaven by the skin of their teeth. And it's like the picture that it has is that like your life is like built of, the good deeds are like stones, and the things you do, precious stones and gold and whatnot. And the bad, useless, wasteful, stupid stuff is like sticks. At the end of your life, the flame goes whoosh, and whatever's left over, everything that you thought was important that wasn't, it disappears. It's ash. It's gone. And whatever is left over is the stuff that has eternal value. That's the picture. The Bible says that there are going to be people who literally, God's going to whoosh, and there's nothing left except for them standing there in a pile of the ashes that is their life. They still get saved, though. Their life was wasteful and stupid, and they had the wrong priorities, but you know what? They had faith in Jesus. So they go to heaven. That's how it works. There are a lot of people who hate that part of the gospel because that's not fair. People need to be disciplined. Agreed. That's a good thing if they're disciplined, but doesn't make them not saved anymore. Does that make sense? I think did that answer the question? I hope it did. Got a little preachy and yelly there for a bit. So yeah. Anything else? Anybody else want to ask anything, or we'll just jump into something else? That's cool with me. I'll give you a quick countdown. I don't know how lagged we are between me seeing your chat and whatever. So I'm going to give a minute, And then if we don't have that, I'm going to switch over, take my little break, and then jump into the game. I sure enjoy this, you guys. I mean, well, what's the word? You know, between me saying a word and you hearing the word and me seeing your response, like the distance between the two. I'm not sure what that is. I appreciate it, Liz. Thank you so much for that. I love preaching. I really do. It was a big decision for me to decide to do personal development rather than Bible stuff. And if you responded to it, great. It's biblical stuff, you know, but at the same time, it's not preaching. Oh, all right. Okay, let's do that. Okay, here's the experiment. I'm going to give you a word. Your job is to say the word or type the word and hit enter. And we'll see how distant we are. Ready? Here comes the word. Bacon. Eight. That's not bad. 8 seconds? 8, 9, 10. I just like bacon. Gabriel can't come to stream anymore. Gabriel's fired from the stream. I misspelled it and had to type it thrice. I wrecked the experiment. I'm sorry. That's pretty good, actually. I like. Oh wow, Gerberts is a little behind. Where are you, man? Are you far away? That was wow. That was a lot. Most people got it within 8 to 10 seconds, except his pineapple, who had to, you know, type it a few times. But yeah, Gerberts was a ways away. Interesting. That's super interesting. Gasp in Spanish, right? That's illegal. Okay, dudes. Here's another curse. May all your bacon burn. Dude, even burnt bacon is good. That's not even that bad of a curse, okay? All right, I'm going to take off. Thank you so much. I'll see you guys over on Twitch. Make sure you please, like I said, and I'm going to be kind of serious for a second, but legit, I can't actually grow anymore unless you guys share. I've now saturated my market. So therefore, if I'm going to get any word of mouth, it means that you guys have to do it. So please help me out. That would be great. I didn't make a Twitch thing? Oh, man. Oh, no, I did. Yay for me. No, I did not. That's ukulele. I will do that. I will go do that right now. I'll see you guys in a bit. Come over to Twitch. Come over there. We're playing a really fun game. It's very fun. It's actually really fun. It's weird. Like, it doesn't sound fun wandering around and trying to figure out hieroglyphs. It's really quite fun. Come and help me out. I would appreciate it. See you guys in a bit.